Hi, I'm Cynthia, and this is Balance Your Life Yoga. Today, we will be working with poses, and instead of trying to get into a pose, we're going to let the pose get into us and really feel our bodies, make our practice our own as we modify for ourselves. Each person's body is built differently. From birth to begin with. Some of us have different proportions, maybe longer legs or shorter arms, or just our bones are different sizes compared to each other. Also, the size of the bone in a joint is different. So if you have a very small bone in a ball and socket joint, well, you'll probably have a lot of flexibility and be able to do all kinds of things, extensions with the arms behind you or to the side. The same thing with the hips and the knees and ankles. Also, life comes at us as well. So all of us have different experiences in life. Perhaps we've had surgery. Maybe we have hardware in our foot or our knees or our hips. Perhaps we have a pacemaker and we need to keep our hearts raised and lifted instead of below our hips. So just everyone has things to modify for. And what I encourage everyone to do is to just feel your own body. That being said, everybody's body is different every day. So one day you might feel super energetic, another day you might need more respite and relaxation and restoration. So just feeling yourself today. First, we're just going to start with a small meditation. We'll do some warm-ups, some sun salutations, then we'll get into work poses and deep stretches, and then finally, final relaxation. For props today, I have a strap here, and if you have a strap with D-rings, go ahead and lock that by coming through both D-rings and then going over the first one and then under the second one, and that just locks it in place there, as you can see. Also, it makes it very easy to have the strap on top. Just by pulling that, you can have your strap be shorter. And then if you want to release, you would separate the two rings and pull the string back through, pull the strap back through. It's not required to have it, but I'll be incorporating that into our practice today if you wish. Also have a block handy, and then perhaps maybe a blanket or a towel for padding, or for to raise part of the body in final relaxation to give you some rest there. So let's get started. This is Rosie, and she'll be coming in and out probably as we practice. So we're coming first into our meditation pose. So it's an easy pose. You want it to be a pose that you're not struggling to stay forward, or your attention is not pulled away by having your knees be too tight or your ankles hurting. So just make some modifications. Really helps to have your hips higher than your knees. You can do that by sitting on a block or a blanket or both. Adjusting your legs so that you feel comfortable and balanced. So you might have your legs out wide if you feel like your knees are tight. You can even have your feet out straight. If you're watching this and you've just finished a busy time, maybe you're not quite settled yet, you can always lay in Shavasana for this. So wherever you are and whatever your pose is, just settle into it, pulling the flesh out from underneath us. I invite you to close your eyes if you wish. And then if you can, start breathing through the nose. So this is first where we get into our body. So really doing an inventory Let's do an inventory of our legs. Where do we feel the earth meeting our legs and feet? And on the next exhale, can we deeply release into that support of the earth? And then maybe moving up, maybe the hips are tight. If you've been standing for long periods of time, you might have some compression in the lower back, or sitting also for long periods of time can cause compression. So just releasing that. You might wiggle around a little if you're not sure how you feel, just to help you do an inventory of your body. And then everything from the waist down, let it release downward, let it root into the earth. Couple more breaths. And then while we're rooting downward, go ahead and use that rooting to elongate the spine. Just try to find some space in between the hips and the rib cage. Lifting up, maybe slightly offering the heart up, maybe any worries or cares. You just might release them right now in this moment. Maybe you can release them just for this moment. Or maybe you can release them for the rest of class, or maybe even the rest of the day. So you choose when to pick those back up, but trying to just breathe through any cares or worries and just offer them up. Let them float away from the body. Have that image. And then continuing the elongation through the spine, up through the back of the neck and all the way through the head, the top of the head. The shoulders are down, the jaw is not clenched, our eyes are soft. So just taking note of how the body feels in this moment. And just for another moment, releasing the breath a little bit more deeply on your next exhale. And then notice the breathing. Now that we're a little bit more aware of our body, notice the breath in the body. Where does it feel like it's freely moving? Where does it feel like it might be congested or stuck? Maybe just slightly changing the breath now. If you'd like a physical sensation help, you can take your right hand and place it right underneath your belly button. And relax the belly enough on your next inhale to receive the belly into the hand. And then on your next exhale, release. So relaxing the diaphragm. Giving it some space in the body. And here for the next few moments, just releasing, coming to the breath, and really getting into the body, getting into the present moment with the breath. If you have another intention that you brought to class, feel free to substitute that instead of our intention for class today. So just a few more breaths here. One more. And then if you have your eyes closed, just noticing the light on the outside of your eyelids. Maybe let the chin drop toward the chest, elongating the back of the neck, but not letting the weight of the head go to the back of the neck. Just tuck the chin in toward the throat. And just know that we are receiving more oxygen into the body, which is going to help clear our mind, help us to focus, helps with the stamina as well. So then, just beginning to flutter the eyes open now, maybe raising the gaze to look forward. And I invite you to have your palms up, and if you like, just raise them shoulder height, lifting the heart up in gratitude if you wish. Gratitude for our yoga practice, gratitude for our yoga community, that supportive group of people that is here for our journey to support and encourage us. So lifting the heart, bringing the hands together and then bowing in gratitude. Rising back up, and then we're just going to remove any props that we have underneath us. And just come down to our sits bones, pull that flesh out from underneath us, maybe extend the legs. And you might just move them up and down and bounce them out, or maybe rub them a little bit just to get the blood flow back into them. And if you wish, you can change the other foot in front if you had your legs cross-legged. Now, if you feel like here in this cross-legged pose that you're straining to be in that pose, of course, you can put the bottom of your feet together. You can also place 2 blocks, one under each knee, and that helps to take that straining feeling away. So coming into our first pose today, this will be a level 1 and 2 mixed level class, so I'll be offering several options in each pose. You decide what level of sensation and balance and strength that you would like for your practice today, or in each pose as we go throughout the practice. So having our hands on our knees, seated cat-cow, inhaling, we're just bringing the rib cage here, we're bringing it forward and making a small arch in our back. And again, each one of us will feel this differently. So inhale, opening up, you can look up if you're able. And then exhale, just press through the back rib cage, round the back, empty out the belly, roll the shoulders over and exhale. Ha. And then inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Coming right back to a neutral position. We're still going to work with this thoracic rib cage right here, part of our spine. Now we're going to move it left to right. So I'm trying to keep my hips stable, trying to keep my shoulders in place over my hips. They might move around a bit, I know that mine do. But we're just moving from right to left, taking that rib cage, and then inhale, lift, elongate rather than move forward, and then exhale, move the rib cage to the right. So we're squeezing the left, opening up the right. Inhale. And then exhale, back to center. Let's do the left side. Inhale. Exhale, move to the left. Inhale, breathe into that side of the body as we compress the right. We will breathe more into the left, and then exhale, coming to center. And let's just do one breath movements on each side. Inhale, lengthen, exhale to the right. Inhale, lengthen, exhale to the left. Good. Now we're moving all forward. We're doing trunk circles, or really rib cage circles. So we're moving from cow to the right, exhale, cat, move our rib cage to the left, and then coming back to center. So inhale, moving forward, cow. Exhale, squeeze the left ribs, open the right. And then continuing that exhale, breathe out, roll over for cat. And then inhale as we open the left side, come back to front. And we're back to central and neutral position. So inhaling, this time coming forward. Exhale to the left now and the back. Inhale to the right, back to the front. So let's do that one more time each side, trying to make it smooth with the breath. It's okay if your breath doesn't match mine. We all breathe differently. Inhale, moving around, coming back to center. Inhale, moving to the left, exhale. Inhale, back to center. Very good. Now, if your legs are getting tired, you can switch back your feet, or you can change your position if you like. Moving to our shoulders now and our arms. So several modifications here as well. Our fingertips can go to the top of our shoulders for a little shortened distance. Each one of us has different range of motion here in our shoulders. Another option is to have the hands in Cactus Pose, or some people call this Goddess Pose if it's out to the side. And then we would just lift the elbows up and the fingertips would go back, and then exhale, coming back. You might choose to use your whole arm. So reaching out and then up and exhale. So whatever feels good for you in each pose, and you might play around. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do different movements maybe throughout. I'm choosing different ones. Yours don't have to match mine. You get into your body and into the pose that feels right for you today. Coming to just bent arms, and our fingers are either touching the shoulders or out, or the arms are extended. We're going to let our arms go out first. So inhale, open up wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together in the back, and do that cow posture one more time. Bring the rib cage forward. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Arms go out. Exhale, cat. Arms come in. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Bring the spine back to neutral. Now we're going up and down. So inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, coming down. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, down. Inhale, lift and elongate. Exhale, bringing the arms back down. Now adding just a little bit more here. Coming in with our hands in Namaste in the center, deciding how your arms are going to be. Inhale, open up wide. Exhale, press out the breath, press out the stress of the day. And then come back to neutral. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, bringing them back down. And we're adding one more thing. Inhale, lift the elbows. Turn the torso to the right, and then release your elbows, shoulder height. Inhale, lift, come back to center. Exhale, let's do that to the left. Open up, inhale. Exhale, inhale up. Exhale down. This time, inhale, lift, turn to the left. Open the shoulders. Exhale. Inhale, lift one more time. Exhale, coming right back to center. Nice. We're going to use all that trunk rotation here in a little bit. So coming into all fours, swinging our legs to the side, and we want to keep our belly engaged. So we're just going to look down toward the belly, lift the belly, and keep the belly lifted as we come back to all fours. You can modify your wrists by making a fist, maybe the thumbs over the fingers, and just resting on that flat part of the first part of the finger up to the first knuckle. That helps to relieve some of the stress on the wrist. If your knees are difficult, you can put a blanket or a towel underneath your knees, or if you have a knee pad. So moving here into a spinal balance, we're just going to open and lift maybe just the left leg here. Now, if I have lower back issues, probably want to keep my hips parallel. Mine bother me from time to time. You'll see me doing different things in different classes. Today it feels okay. So I might, instead of just lifting, maybe extending that leg back, press through the heel. You can add a little more by opening the opposite arm and reaching. So the heel goes toward one wall, fingertips go toward the other. Just doing a spinal balance here. Exhale, back to all fours. And of course, we're going to do the other side. Maybe just lifting the right leg, reaching that right leg back if you wish. Press through the toes to reach through the heel, reach the other arm forward. And release, coming back to all fours. Now, if you'd like a little bit more sensation, we're going to do that again. You can do this all from plank pose. So turning the toe under, if you want to go to full plank and add some more sensation, lift the knees, but keep the tail right about the same height as the shoulders. We're just going to lift, coming into a three-legged plank. As we reach back, you can add more sensation by reaching the other arm forward. Exhale, release. Remember, you can have just one knee down if that feels better. Take a breath. Moving to the left side now. Maybe just extending one leg and doing a half plank or a spinal balance. Or you can come into a full plank, and you would lift the right leg up, coming into a three-legged plank. If you want a spinal balance and more strength, lifting the other arm up. Breathe smoothly and release. Now let's take our first child's pose, hips coming down to the heels, forehead resting on the floor. Again, if you like, you can bring your arms back, shorten that extension there if your shoulders are tight. But wherever you are, you want this to be a resting pose. So whenever we're in child's pose, you're releasing any part of the ego that might have fallen into performance. Maybe it's, I used to be able to do such and such, or maybe it's, I'll never be able to do such and such. Just recordings playing in your head. Just release those. Get out of the head and get into the body. Let this pose fully get into you physically, mentally, and spiritually. There's a release and a letting go. Good. Coming all the way back up to all fours. Now we're just moving downward, coming down to the elbows, letting our hips come down. And then we can have our elbows right under our shoulders. This is Sphinx pose. And we would press through the bottom of the feet and start the opening there. Pull the kneecaps towards the thighs. Tighten the glutes. And then that energy just moves right out through the heart. Right out through the top of the head. And just having a nice back bend here. Modifications for different levels. You can widen your arms for less sensation, less bend in the back. If it feels like the lower back is tight, you can lift one leg up towards your shoulder, and that might release some of that straining that you might feel. If you'd like more sensation, then you can keep your hands pressed into the earth, lift your elbows up, and come into a seal pose. And then you can dial the sensation up or down by moving the hands closer or farther away from the body. Release, hands go under the shoulders, lifting up, all fours. Exhale, child's pose. Counter pose. Just to keep the spine relaxed and happy. Breathe one more deep breath. Good, coming right up to all fours, moving into a low lunge in our warm-ups, shifting the weight to the left hand and the left knee, making a tent on your fingertips with the right hand, and moving that right foot forward. If it stops back here, you can lift it up and put it forward right there. Or if it's a little bit short, you can crawl with your toes. Now, once we're up, we want to make sure that we have a nice right angle here. We want the top of our foot to be in front of our knee. You can check that visually by looking at the side. You can also look over your knee and see if you can still see your toes down there. If your toes are disappear, you might just crawl out a little more. So now we're tucking the tailbone under. And we're elongating. And let's bring the hands into Namaste. Now working on the series that we did before. You decide how your arms go. Inhaling, opening. Exhaling, release. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift again. Open up, exhale, bring the elbows down, turn away from your leg. And then inhale, lift up, square the shoulders off toward the front. Exhale, release, hands release, all fours. Going to the other side, of course, shifting the weight to the right, bringing that left foot forward, making as many modifications as you like. Tucking that tailbone under to get a nice long stretch in the front of the thigh. Inhaling, let's go out first. Exhale in. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Turn away from the leg. Exhale down. Inhale up. Square off the shoulders, exhale, coming right back to all fours. One more pose as we move from warm-up to our sun salutations in just a moment. So down dog, a modified down dog would be to reach the right leg back, turn the toes under, that half plank or beginning of a spinal balance if you like. This keeps the head above the heart in case you have been advised not to do inversions. So whatever leg is back, the arm goes down as well to the elbow and just reach. You can keep your hand up or you can let it crawl along the earth. So you still get that wonderful opening underneath the arm. You still get that good opening in the back of the leg. but it's not an inversion. It's good to keep your head above your heart if you have high blood pressure, migraines, dizziness perhaps. Coming right back to center, let's do a modified on the other side, reaching the right leg back, press through the right heel, right elbow goes down and reach with the left hand this time. Opening up as much as you wish. Breathe. And then coming right back to center. If you'd like to do full down dog, turn the toes under, lift the hips, press with the hands to reach the hips back and up. Remember looking at our belly button earlier, we're going to do that here. Pull that belly in and then reach the heels down. Breathe. One more breath. And release. Let's move to a standing position for our sun salutations, bringing that right foot forward. Frame the foot with the hands, turn the toe under, lift the knee up, and then move forward as many hops as you need to bring the feet back side by side. Again, if you're keeping your head above your heart, you do a half forward fold right here. Exhale. Full. You can drop your head and just let your arms hang. Or you can hold onto your elbows here. Really feel how this is traction for your glutes and the back of your neck. Each one of us feels this differently. So to come up, protect the lower back, bend the knees, press through the feet, pull that belly button into the spine, let the shoulders roll over as we elongate the spine, bringing the shoulders back. And you might reach up, exhale, namaste hands. Now here you can use this as a standing meditation to reflect on your intention for class, or you can take a 30-second break here, just a small break to adjust your clothing, maybe get a sip of water. I'm going to get a sip of water. You don't want to move, that's fine. Just come back into your body and focus on your breath. When we're ready, meeting at the top of our mat. Modified Sun Salutation B to begin, and then a Sun Salutation B. Inhaling, palms down, arms up, lift up, again, modify for your shoulders if you need to. Slightly bend the knees, bring the hands down, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Hands on the shins, inhale, look forward. Exhale, release, hands down. Right foot goes way back, and the right knee goes down. Back to that low lunge, inhaling. Open, turn away from the front leg, exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands come down, all fours. Inhale, plank if you like, or a half plank. Exhale, back to all fours, lower the elbows down. Inhale, Sphinx pose, or your modification for it. Inhale, reaching. Exhaling, release, hands under the shoulders. Inhaling, all fours. Exhale, child's pose for 5 breaths. Inhale, 1. Release on the exhale. And it's okay if your breath doesn't match mine. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Exhale. Inhale, 4. Exhale. On the next inhale, moving back up to all fours. Switch the weight to the left. Bring that right foot forward for a low lunge. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, turn away from the front leg. Arms come down. Inhale, lifting. Come back toward the front. Exhale, release. Toe turns under on the back foot. Lift the knee. Press up as many times as you need to come to a half forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, bend the knees to protect the lower back. Palms down to save those rotator cuffs. And then exhale. Hands right back to center. Other side, we're doing a full Sun Salutation B. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive down, halfway or all the way. Hands touching. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left foot goes back. You can stay off of the knee or you can bring it down. Inhaling, lifting up. Adding that little extra twist away from the front leg. Inhale, lift. Square the shoulders again. Exhale. Press into the hands. Bring that right foot back to plank. Or if you're doing the first set, you would be back in all fours. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, lower down the body. One big piece. Inhale, hands under the shoulders, lift up, cobra, or sphinx. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming right back into a full plank or a half plank. Exhale, right to child's pose or resting in downward facing dog. Exhale, 1. Exhale, 2, holding for 5. Breathe and release. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. On your next inhale, lift that leg up, left leg up. Bring it back toward the front of the mat, or come to all fours and bring that foot forward, knee up or knee down, lifting up, inhaling, opening up, turning away from the front leg. Exhale. Inhale, lift, moving toward the front, look forward, bend the knee, push forward wherever you are, or lift the knee. Exhaling. Inhale, bend the knees. Sweep up, fly up. Exhale. Right back to namaste hands. Standing meditation or a short break once again. 30 seconds. Find your breath, smooth out any rough edges, clear the mind. Let the body get into this pose. Really feel your feet. Feel how the body's changing as we practice. Maybe feeling a little more warm or open. Good. And coming into our work poses, incorporating some of our warm-up, of course. So inhaling, sweeping up, palms down, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, let's bring the left foot back and the left knee down. So coming right back into that low lunge. Inhaling, we're going to sweep up. Exhale, turn away from the leg, just like we have been, and then bringing the arm down. And of course, you can have your hands any way that you like. And now we're adding a little bit more. We might tip over and bring our elbow to our knee. And we might bring that arm either straight up, back, bicep over the ear, or you can open the chest a little more and not have as much strain on the neck if you just put that hand behind your back and rotate open. And just breathe here, holding a little bit longer in the work pose. Good. Now reach out again, move toward the front, exhale, release. Now we're going to do that again. You can keep that right foot forward if you wish. You can keep your knee down if you wish, or you can lift up the knee, ground that heel in the back, or stay on the ball of the foot, whichever feels right for you, and doing this with the knee up. And then exhale, turn away from that front leg. You might widen your stance to keep that knee above the ankle. Exhale, if you want to add a little more. Extended side angle here. You can have a block here if you want to have one on the inside of your foot. I'll show you what that looks like. You decide what level the block is on. Sometimes that helps. Or if you'd like to go all the way down to the floor. Now, just notice that if you have a preconceived idea of what this looks like, maybe you've seen someone with their hands on the floor, but for me to get my hand on the floor, my shoulder might close off, and then my pose becomes like this. So that's getting into the pose. So letting the pose get into me would be, I'm going to back up until I can open my shoulders and heart. I might even back up here. Then I can breathe. And that's what it's all about. Moving, changing, challenging our balance and our strength, but finding that calming breath. And let's release, one hand down, the other hand down. Now, letting the knee down, you can move right back into child's pose. Before we do the other side, you can move into down dog. If that feels better for you, we're just taking a rest. But if you don't want to rest and you want more sensation, you can move into a half sun salutation, just moving right back into plank. Exhale, inhale the lift, exhale coming back down, inhaling, and then exhaling. Finding the pose and let it getting into you. Let the practice get into you. Really feel it. Good. Wherever you are, you're keeping your knees up. You're just going to bring that left foot forward. You're keeping one, well, let's keep one knee down, everyone, just to start, just to do this side again. So my left foot's forward. I can still see my toes, can you? And then inhaling, reaching up. Exhale, turn away from the leg. Maybe here, just staying here, maybe coming down with the elbow on the knee, or maybe I can bring my hand down to a block or the floor. And again, this side might be different. You might have had a car accident or surgery on one side, so each side might look very different. Coming back up, releasing, coming forward, exhale. You can do that again with the knee down, or you can turn your toe under, lift the knee up, stand on the ball of the foot, or you can ground that foot, the heel in the back. Inhale, lifting wherever you are. Exhale, turn away from that front leg. Inhale, and then open up. Exhale, coming into your extended side angle. And this way you can see how I have my hand on my back, maybe allowing me to open my heart a little more. I might have a block, or I might be able to reach the floor. But if I start to close off my chest and I can't breathe, that's the indication that there's something going on other than a yoga practice. That means maybe our ego has gotten involved, or maybe we're just not focusing on our body as much. So just bringing it back to the present moment. And then opening back up, windmilling the arms, 1, 2, coming back to child's pose, down dog, or a half sun salutation. Breathe, feel how the body has opened up. Feel the breath. Is it moving more easily through your body than before class? Really notice the body and how it feels. One more exhale. On your next inhale, whenever that happens, just coming back to the front. And we're coming right back to our cross-legged pose. Let's move the right foot in front. So just revisiting that cat-cow briefly, just so we can check on our body and see how it feels now. Our shoulders a little bit farther down away from our ears. And then inhale, lift forward. Exhale, empty out. Inhale, coming back to center. Good, change the other leg in front. Inhale, lifting, bring the chest forward. Exhale, emptying out. Just getting those last little pieces of stress out of the body. Inhale, back to neutral. Good. Now we're just coming into a deep stretch. We're going to come in, bring our legs, opening them nice and wide. Now, if you're like me, when I first started yoga and your hamstrings are short, or your inner muscles here toward the thigh, the abductors, it might be looking like this, which is how I looked when I first started yoga. I couldn't put my legs down, and certainly did not feel like I was rooted and stable sitting upright. So to help that, you can take your blanket or your towel and you can just roll it right underneath the tailbone and then just roll right off. And that's just going to move the hips forward and give you a lot more stability during this deep stretching part. So you'll recognize the series here with the trunk of the body, inhaling, lifting up, looking up. Exhale, let's turn to the right and let our hands come down. We're going to lift, keeping our fingertips pressing. Lift through the spine and let the spine be a trellis. Let it grow right along that back arm. And then we're just going to twist from the belly. Exhale. Move the hands to get a little more deeply into the twist, making sure we can still breathe. Inhale, lift again. Exhale, turn from the shoulders and the chest this time. Inhale, lift one more time, lengthen, offer up your heart. And then exhale, you might turn the head last of all. So we're leading from center, and we're not leading from our heads. Good. Now, before coming out of the twist, again, we want to keep our chest open. We're keeping that twist to the right. We're letting our left hand just slide down the leg. You might hold on to a pant leg. You might just lay the hand on the floor. You might grab the foot. So holding on to something and then twist open. Again, you can let that hand in the back just rest, or you can reach up and extend. And if you want a little bit deeper twist, move the elbow to the inside of the leg, rotate a little more, and grab the toes with the other hand. Breathe. Now, once again, feel how this compresses the left ribs, and it opens, it pushes the breath into that right rib cage. One more breath here. On the exhale, just rotate toward the leg. Now, if you have osteoporosis, you might have a bolster here, or maybe even a block, just to give the front of your spine some support, so there's not a whole lot of pressure going onto the front of your spine. You can have your fingertips walk out. You can hold on to something again, maybe your shin, maybe your ankle or your foot. Maybe you can want to put a block on the end and use that for an extension this time. Whatever feels natural and good for you right now. On the next exhale, moving towards center. Inhale, lifting. Once again, it might look like this. Might just be an inch forward. Exhale, bring the belly button down rather than the nose. Sometimes when we lead with the nose, we'll curve our back and our shoulders will come forward. So we're just leading once again with our center, opening through the heart, forward, and then relaxing. Holding on to something if you like, the earth, your toes, your pant leg. Release here. Begin to relax the breath. And then coming slowly up. All that on the other side. Inhaling, arms up, palms down. Exhaling, turning to the left, extending our fingertips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn from the belly button. Inhale, lengthening. Opening the heart, really releasing any stress in the chest area. And then exhaling, turning from the chest and the heart. One more time, lengthen all the way through the top of the head. And then let the head turn. Giving our internal organs a good squeeze here too. And then keeping this open heart, let that right hand float down the right leg. Again, the side might look very different. deciding where your arm's going to go. Maybe it feels good around the back. Maybe your bicep wants to go by the ear or catch the other toes. Release and let the pose get into your body. Full breath here. And on the next exhale, whenever that happens for you, just rotating the belly toward the leg. Once again, you can add more sensation or lengthening if you wish, or you can shorten it by bringing the hands back toward the body. Breathe. On the next exhale, come right towards center, offering yourself support if you need. Lengthening out wherever that is, just making sure we can take a full deep breath in the pose. And not cutting it off. You might hear Rosie snoring in the background a little bit. Good. Walking right back up towards center. Removing any props that you might have behind you. Lifting up the legs with the hands. And then turning toward the long edge of your mat. Grabbing the back of the thighs, holding the shins or the top of the knees. Exhale, bring the knees in and massage out the spine. We've really moved in a lot of different directions. Rotation and flexion to the left and the right. So it deserves a little TLC right now. And then just resting the feet down toward the earth. We want to press through our elbows, turn our shoulders underneath so that any weight's going to come to the top of our neck. Now, instead of turning to look at me, just leave your head looking forward. I'll give some pretty detailed instructions. So move the feet as close to the hips as you can, the heels. The knees can go slightly inward. You don't want them to go so far that they touch, but maybe just moving them a little bit inward. Press through the elbows. Inhale, press through the heels. Lift the hips up any amount. This is a good core strengthener. So you can lift up 1 or 2 inches and just hold there and release back down. Or maybe you like to go all the way up to a full extension. Again, walking the shoulders down toward the heels to bring the weight off of the neck. Now here you can make C's with your hands and maybe hook them underneath your hips to get a little bit more height. Or you might want a good shoulder opener by clasping your hands underneath and pressing to the earth. You might be able to even hold onto your heels or hold onto the front of your ankles. On your next exhale, roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Release. Good. Moving into final relaxation from here. Extending the left leg and then extending the right. Let the feet fall away from each other or however they naturally fall. You can get more clothing on if you cool down quickly, or you can add some support, maybe grabbing a blanket and putting it under your hips or rolling it under your neck if you want to roll up one end of your blanket or towel. You can also take a blanket and just put it right under your hips, whatever height feels good for you, just to get a little bit more back bend. Again, rolling the shoulders under. Maybe it feels better for you, for your back, to keep your knees bent. And you might put pillows or a bolster under your knees. Or I've seen people put blocks under the top of their legs. They help a little bit. In other words, just wiggle around till you feel comfortable and then release into final relaxation pose. I'm going to sit up so that my voice will carry a little bit more effectively. You feel free to stay down in your final relaxation Shavasana pose. Once again, just noticing the body, really getting into the body. How does it feel differently now than it did at the beginning of class? How does your breath feel in the body? How's your mind? A little bit more clear, a little bit more released, a little bit more friendly. And then once you've done that inventory, just that physical inventory, let's just go ahead and do a gradual relaxation here. On the next exhale, releasing the feet, the toes, and the ankles. Letting them sink to the earth. On the next exhale, let that relaxation and release just travel right up through the ankles and the shins and the calves. Let them be heavy, relaxed, and released. Smooth out any breath that might feel tattery. Releasing the knees and the back of the knees. Releasing the thighs, the back of the legs. Releasing the hips and the hip socket. Letting the muscle feel like it's falling away from the bones. Releasing the pelvic cavity and your glutes, your abdominals, and your lower back. Let the middle of the body feel released and as if it's sinking and being accepted by the earth. Letting that relaxation move to the front rib cage. Letting the front rib cage just gently fall toward the back body. Relaxing all the internal organs tucked under the rib cage. Releasing everything to the back rib cage and then releasing the back rib cage to the earth. Letting that relaxation move around the heart and the lungs. Letting the heart feel warm and soft, receptive. Letting the top of the back release to the earth. Letting the shoulders release. Just letting that relaxation get into the socket of the shoulders. Let that relaxation and warmth move right down the top of the arms, the back of the arms, the biceps and the triceps, through the forearms. On the next exhale, just let that relaxation travel into the hands, the back of the hands, the palms and the fingers. Completely release from the neck down. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Let it be silent and still. Relaxing the jaw, the lips, the hollows of our cheeks, the space around our eyes. Letting the eyes sink a little more deeply into the eye sockets. Release the temples, the forehead. Let that relaxation travel to the back of the scalp and the top of the head. And then releasing the brain. Relax from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. On the next inhale, breathing in, releasing the practice, bringing with us any part of the practice that served us, and leaving any part of the practice that did not. Maybe take a swallow. Maybe move the head gently from side to side. And then Releasing the wrist and the hands, and just bringing the arms to our side, keeping them connected to the earth, just like a big snow angel. Let the arms come up over our heads, or maybe our hands are by our ears. Elongate through the feet, all the way through the fingertips. Nice long east-west stretch. And then exhale, hug those knees. One more time, bring the knees toward the chest, giving ourselves a hug for practicing today or this evening. And maybe once again, just roll back and forth on the lower back until one of those rocks lands us on our side in the fetal position, and just rest there. Releasing. Once again, just feeling the practice in our body. When we're ready, pressing through the top hand, just pressing that hand into the earth, using our hands to support our spine, coming right back to a comfortable seated position. And then once again, if you wish, I invite you to bring your palms up, lifting our hearts up. Maybe release any anxiety, holding, fear. Release it right now and replace it with light, lightness, and love. Bring your hands right over our hearts. Namaste hand. Exhaling. Namaste. Peace to you. Thank you for sharing your practice.